Yep, we're rolling for another fragrance review, one of many, and hopefully one of many more to come. Obviously, I flip-flop between hair product reviews, comparisons and so on. I've just got a lot of fragrances on my bedside cabinet or cupboard, miniature cupboard even, that I want to get through. Having said that, I've pretty much gone through all of the EDTs that I have. I've got a few samples to go. But yeah, again, as I reiterate, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, this isn't for my benefit. It's just a bit of passion towards these products that I've used for donkey's years. So I make these videos to try and help and inform and educate people. Again, it's not in a big-headedness way. Of course, there's people who can articulate better. There are people with more experience than me. And likewise, there's different levels to these things, isn't there? So bottom line is I'm trying to, you know, just make these videos to try and help people as best as I can. Again, whoever manages to find, let alone watch these videos, hopefully that's how I come across. But without further ado, this is a fairly new one to me. Albeit I say it's a new one to me in terms of the purchase, but I've actually used this or experienced this myself back in the day, in my clubbing days in my 20s, where it's without giving too much away, it's very niche, but it's very unique and different. How I perceive this, how everybody perceives this. So again, as I've alluded to in other videos, people smell fragrances different off of their own skin as well as off of other people, because long story short, people are different, and the fragrances and how you detect them, be it you're male or female, will be very different. So let's just bring this one out. So this is Dior Fahrenheit. This is the, I think it's the EDP, or is it the Parfum? Good question, Liam. See, that's one thing that I've noticed with a lot of the more recent ones. They have a sticker on the bottom. From my understanding, this is the Parfum, and I bought this from Boots. Obviously, I'm going to go through the notes now. The reason why I bought this from Boots is because there was a big offer on. They tend to do this. Again, I'm not endorsed by Boots. I'm just saying there's a Boots local to me. Over the years, I've bought most of my fragrances from shops or online. Amazon, some even off of eBay if they've been hard to find, hard to track down. But Boots tend to do big discounts, and this was actually bought, I'm trying to remember now, about 3 months ago. Yeah, 2.5, 3 months ago. Albeit, as I said, I've had experience of this in the past. I've smelt on other people. I think even my dad had one once, and I used to put that on when I had a then girlfriend who it's not even bizarrely, it was just, I think my dad walked past and she's like, your dad smells really nice. And then I was like, and then I went and put this fragrance on, and at the time I thought, oh, it smells, again, without giving it away, for people who know this fragrance, Dior Fahrenheit, be it the EDT, that's what I tried back in the day. This is the EDP or Parfum, very similar. Again, ideally there would be some kind of writing to state what this is, but I can't see anything. It just says Fahrenheit Dior. It's definitely not an EDT. It's either the Parfum or EDP, but they're very similar. And the price is very similar because, again, I've done comparisons online. So we're going to go through the notes, and I'm going to do the usual spray on the skin, how I perceive it, and the overall review at the end. So the price varies. So for the 75ml, £100. So again, you can, it'll be fluctuate a bit. It might be £90, £88, something. And again, it depends on the sale. The reason why I say this, because in Boots, I believe I got it for like 90, 91, something like that. So again, I saved a little bit of money. I was actually looking to buy Victor Old Spice Bomb, but yet again, they didn't have it. I've gone back to 2 different Boots in the past. Again, I could just order it online, but sometimes I like to go into these stores and just test out different fragrances. I used to do it back in the day when I lived in Basildon. I used to be, I joke about it now, but they used to think I market research, because I'd go in with my notepad and pen, writing up prices and just drawing comparisons. I have a very analytical mind, and again, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I've actually had a reviewing background, not just with what I mentioned now, but with like video games and sports supplements, fitness supplements. So anyway, so we'll go over the notes. So harmony of opposites. Yeah, a harmony of opposites to combine strength and elegance. The fragrance dons a vibrant and sensual accord, featuring violet and leather accents, enhanced with bourbon vanilla absolute. The irresistible appeal of a unique fragrance, heightened by precious ingredients. So the top notes, which again, this is why sometimes it's good to go into different websites, because they give you more of a breakdown, or they give you more information and not just a marketing spiel. So on one website, the top note is Sicilian mandarin, the heart is Russian leather, violet leaves, and the base is bourbon vanilla accord. So going to put it onto the skin. I'm just going to, again, I don't want to jump the gun with this, but this is, I don't want to say I love it or hate it fragrance. Dior tend to be pretty solid, like a lot of the top end premium houses. Not, they don't always release things that are mass appealing, but I would say with this one it's a lot more niche, but yet people who do wear it and can pull it off, they tend to really enjoy it. And if anything, in terms of for compliments, in the times that I've been wearing this more recently, because this is the first bottle I've owned, and in the past when I've worn it myself, it just shows you how, as you get older, your own smell and perception changes. Because the weird thing is, when I was younger and I used to smell this on other people, I used to really like it because it was different, and I couldn't. And again, you get this comment of it's smelling very gasoline like and smoking. There is elements of that, but again, do the spray test and I'll give you my actual perception of it, because again, people's are different, but as I just mentioned, there is some elements of that. So here we go. Only 2 sprays, because again, EDTs I tend to do 3. EDTs I tend to do 3. EDPs tend to be very strong, not always, but this one is strong, and already the radiance is that of an EDT. It's very powerful. So already from a distance, you're getting a very sweet but masculine like aroma. And again, without having to go in now, because obviously I've had experience of this myself, it does have that gasoline element, although I wouldn't say it's like a harsh, horrible, if anything, I would say it's more of the leather. So again, if you like that kind of leathery sweetness, I think you'll like this. In comparison to the only one that I've sampled more recently that has that element, not so much the gasoline, but the smoky leather. I think it was a Tom Ford one. It was either ombre leather or another one. It was very expensive for a 50ml, but again, most Tom Fords are, but it was very nice. And I actually went round with the sample asking other people. It was actually at work. I had someone who would come in who also had a passion for fragrances, a friend of mine. And she said, I think you'll really like this. And the weird thing is, again, by talking with different people, you can establish a connection with what they like and so on. And yeah, it's very nice. So that's the only comparison I could draw with this Dior Fahrenheit, the ombre leather, and that's just the leather element. This is a lot more complex. And again, I'm kind of hesitant to go in there right now because the radiance is very projecting on my skin. Again, I've not done much today. I've just been on the bike and a bit of housework and pretty chilling, not gone to the gym or anything. So could be the fact that obviously I was hotter, a while ago when I was on the bike. So it could be that, obviously, depending on your own body chemistry, and when you heat up, certain fragrances more radiant. But anyway, we're going to go in now and for a closer inspection. Yeah, so it's very, very nice. Again, as I say, when I was younger, I didn't, on my own skin, at least with the EDT, I wasn't that, enamoured, enticed, pleased with it. But this EDP or Parfum is very radiant. It's very projecting on my skin. In terms of longevity, I don't want to say it's like as good as some of the others I've used. In all honesty, I would say it's anywhere from 6 to 8 hours and becomes more of a skin scent. For the first few hours, though, especially when I'm hot, it's very radiating. I've had compliments. I've worn it in different environments. Again, how I would perceive it, it's more going out, date orientated. I think it would be, at least for me, it's a bit too powerful for, say, like an office. I've tried wearing it in the gym. Again, that's when I've actually had some head turns and some compliments. I do this more of an experiment. It's not that I want to, you know, when I go to the gym, even in these videos, a lot of the clothes I wear, it's just something a bit different. It's not all designer. It's just tops that I see out and about. Again, just trying to be a bit different. And again, in terms of the fragrances, it's just how I do this almost as an experiment for myself to see how people react to it, how it would be right in a certain environment, not just, again, going off of regurgitating information on the internet from other people and just saying, you know, like a good analogy, finding a really good piece of steak and not being able to articulate how you like it and just saying it melts in the mouth. Oh, that steak, it melts in the mouth. And then if you say that enough times, the regurgitated information flows through to other people and they just describe it the same. So again, sweet, fresh, masculine. There's a dark element to it, hence why I'd say for like a date environment, that'll be the kind of the gasoline-y leather, which adds its own kind of element. I think there's violet leaves in there again, which I believe I've had in other formulas or other things that I've liked as well. In terms of, again, going over the notes, the Sicilian Mandarin, I believe, is in the Armaf Club de Nuit, which I've also reviewed in the past. So you can see again, and it's not just I look at the notes and then I purchase it, but you can see that there's trends for certain ingredients that you like in one formula that you might actually find in another. So long and short of it, and to summarise this fragrance, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. The price is sort of on the pricier side, but then it's Dior and it's very strong. I got it on offer, but you're looking at between 100 to 150 pound for the medium bottle to the larger bottle. But overall, where have I put it? Just to show you again. You don't have to apply too much. That's another thing I thought I'd mention. I put 2 sprays on. And again, you know, maximum I'll put is 3 or 4. Maybe I'd put one more on the neckline and a piece of clothing as well, because that gives a bit more longevity than necessarily on the skin. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10. I've started doing half marks now because, again, there was a change in certain products fragrances I've reviewed where that necessitated the need to do that. Normally I do full marks, so 8.5 out of 10. If you see it on offer, get it. First of all, again, because it's very niche, and I don't want to say it's like Marmite, you love it or hate it, another saying it's regurgitated a lot. But in this instance, I would say try it on a card, a strip, see if it agrees with you. You'll probably notice the prominence, the radiance, the classiness of it. But also try it on the skin, maybe go away, come back. I had already tried it on the skin, so again, it wasn't a blind buy, but I had experience of this. And on my skin in particular, because again, that's why I say it's important to try it on your own skin. It could be very different, but I find this radiant, long lasting. The performance is good. It's worth the money, even though it's on the higher end. 6 to 8 hours longevity for me. Radiance is very pronounced, especially when I heat up. I wouldn't just say it's a winter fragrance or dating and clubbing. There's elements of this that's sweet, so it could even be used in the summer. So I think it's very versatile. Although, as I would say, because it's very masculine and strong, maybe not so much, and a bit fruity and spicy and smoky. These all elements are maybe not ideal for the office or workplace, but perhaps even for, you know, dates, even meals. It's a compliment getter, and I think again it has that reputation of that. But yeah, nothing more I can say. In-depth review that I could go on, but I'm going to try and end it there. So 8.5 out of 10, just to reiterate, highly recommended. Dior Fahrenheit EDP.